Good afternoon to Madam, and we are from Group 5. First, Fu Hui will as a moderator to present.
Good morning to the Madam Farah, and I will be the moderator for this discussion. And we choose the SDG 14 for the title. And the SDG 14 is about the life below the water. And for the title for the panel discussion, we choose the human activities and impact on marine life. The overview of the issue is the marine ecosystem cover more than 70% of the Earth's surface. However, this ecosystem face serious threats due to human activities. SDG 14, Life Below Water, focus on conserving and sustainable using the oceans, seas, and marine resources for sustainable development. Human activities lead to numerous consequences, including pollution, habitat destruction, and biodiversity loss. We must understand this barrier to know how to protect the marine life. For evidence to support your point from test, an article from Global Citizen titled 87% of our oceans are damaged by human impacts report once highlights that the world's oceans are rapidly becoming unrecognizable as impact from human activity strip them of marine life. This according to a report published in the journal Current Biology. Besides that, the article also mentioned that just 13% of the world's ocean have intact marine ecosystem, while the rest have been plundered and degraded. Justification of how the test can contribute to the panel discussion. The statistic that 87% of ocean are damaged due to human impact underscores the urgency of addressing marine ecosystem degradation. The test relate the problem to the framework of SDG 14, Life Below Water, emphasizing the need for sustainable practice. The shocking statistics and facts can help the panel focus on raising awareness and encouraging solutions that the public can take action. This is all the moderator part. I will pass to the next panelist.
Hey, good afternoon to Madam Farah and everyone. My name is Joanna, and I will be the panelist number 1 for our panel discussion. The main aspect I would like to talk about is the harm oil spills bring to marine ecosystem. So oil spills usually occur in the marine environment. Most of these spills are small, for example, the release of oil from recreational boats. On the other hand, large oil spills can be due to accidents involving tankers, pipelines, and drilling rigs, or due to war, notably the Gulf War oil spill. Oil spills can cause a significant amount of damage, especially if they occur in sensitive environments like beaches, mangroves, and wetlands. Consequences to ecosystems and economies can also be felt for decades following a large oil spill. So the first and most evident effect of oil spills to the marine environment is that it threatens the lives of marine organisms and the ecosystem. An article from Ask IFAS titled Effects of Oil Spills on Marine and Coastal Wildlife provides a detailed analysis on the direct and indirect effects of oil spill on wildlife. It also includes the factors influencing the degree of impact of oil spills on wildlife and the susceptibility of various types of wildlife to oil spills. The text explains how oil spills can harm and even kill different types of marine organisms. The long-term effects of oil spills can cause coastal and marine biodiversity loss. It supports my argument that oil spills harm marine life. Moving on to my second point, oil spills can cause habitat destruction. The report from World Ocean Review on the state of the world's ocean discusses about how oil enters the sea and the damage caused to different habitats by oil spills and the responses that have been done to tackle oil spills and pollution. The text elaborates on how oil spills will affect different marine habitats and how long it takes for the regeneration process. It further shows how persistent is the damage caused by oil spills to the environment. It supports my argument on how bad the impact can be towards marine life. The third point I would like to touch on is the economic impacts on fishing communities. A research article from the International Conference on Research Collaboration of Environmental Science on the studies of fishermen's economic loss due to oil spills evaluates the fishermen's economic losses caused by oil spills. The outcome of their observation shows that the oil spills has caused the deaths of different types of marine organisms, which is the source of income for the fishermen in that area. The results proves that disrupted environment of the waters by oil spills can cause the decline in fishery products and the community's living standard on the coast. The article provides evidence on how oil spills can negatively affect marine industries. That's all from me. I will pass on to the next panelist.
Good afternoon to Madam. I'm Orienting and I will continue to the next discussion aspect of our panel discussion, which is chemical substances that are produced from human activities will have impacts on marine life. My elaboration on this aspect is human has been constantly creating, innovating, and evolving for a long time to develop and increase quality of life. Humans have carried out many activities in different fields such as agriculture, science and technology, manufacturing, mining, and so on. However, this human activity continue to exploit the Earth's resources and produce chemical substances that are harmful to the environment. Now, my first point is the effect of chemical substance on marine species. My evidence to provide the point to support the point from the text is an article from Marine Conservation Society titled Chemical Pollutant, the Invisible Threat to Our Sea, highlights how chemical substance will affect behavior, development, hormone balance, or affect restoration and metabolism of marine species. My justification of how the text can contribute to the panel discussion is, by this evidence demonstrate that human activity that produce chemical substance will have effect on marine species. It supports my argument by giving the example of chemical substance and the different impact on marine species. Next, my second point is the chemical pollutant will cause ocean acidification. To support my point, an article from Union Concerned Scientists titled CO2 and Ocean Acidification Cause Impact Solution highlight the increasing of carbon content by human activities have causes ocean acidification. The justification of how the text can contribute to the panel discussion is, this evidence demonstrates that human activity that produce chemical substance will have effect on the acidity of the ocean. It supports my argument by explaining how the carbon content will acidify the ocean and the impact of ocean acidification on the marine life. Next, the last point is the chemical pollution and climate change are interconnected and will affect the temperature of seawater. My evidence to support my point is an article from Back to Blue titled The Role of the Sources of Marine Chemical Pollution in Addressing Marine Chemical Pollution. This article has highlighted that chemical pollution and climate change are interlinked to increase the temperature of the ocean. The justification of how the text can contribute to the panel discussion is, this evidence demonstrates that when climate change and chemical pollution met together, they will cause warming of seawater. It supports my argument by explaining how the chemical substance and climate change linked will cause the increasing temperature of seawater. And here is the end of my panel discussion. Next we'll continue to my group member.
Okay, hi, my name is Muhammad Afiq Daniel bin Muhammad Azran, and I'm the third panelist for our talk today. First of all, I would like to thank Yuting for speaking out such a good point about human activities that impact the marine life. Yes, and I'm really agree with Yuting's point as chemical pollution can disrupt the marine life and uh, disrupt our SDG goal cannot be achieved. So moving on to my personal opinion on our discussion topic today, which is the human activities that impact the marine life. So in my opinion, the human activity that impact the most to the marine life is the coastal development. So what is the coastal development and how it can impact the marine life? Basically, coastal development is the construction and the modernization of coastal areas for human use and activities. The coastal areas in this context is referred to areas such as to natural water habitats such as river, sea, and lake. The example of coastal development we can see nowadays are such as tourism infrastructures like resort, hotel, and urban expansion, and also development such ports and harbors, or even industrial zones also be there. So as we know, the life below water, the sustainable development goal is aimed to conserve and the conserve and sustainably use of water habitats such as ocean, rivers, and seas, and the marine resources. Because of that, the coastal development must be prevented by government or even public voices because it clearly can be a threat to the marine life. So how coastal development can be a threat to the marine life? My first point is it will it will disrupt the habitat. So coastal development often leads to the destruction of habitats such as mangrove, coral reef, and seagrass beds. And these ecosystems are vital for biodiversity as they serve for breeding grounds for the small fish and the snails and many more species of the marine life. My second point is it will cause water pollution. Urbanization along coasts can increase the pollution from sewage, industrial waste, and runoff chemical that containing fertilizers. And this pollution will cause the eutrophication that will lead algal blooms and dead zones, which can suffocate the marine life. And my final point is it will cause overexploitation of coastal resources. The coastal development often include ports and tourism infrastructure, which increase the pressure on the marine resources like fish and shellfish, as the demand from the people that want to eat, so it will cause the pressure for their species. So this will lead to the overfishing that to meet the demands of growing population further depletes the marine stocks. So I think that's all from me. I will pass to the next panelist for today's talk.
Very good afternoon, Mrs. Farah and everyone. My name is Imad Azizi bin Irham, and I will be fourth panelist for our forum discussion. Thank you, Afiq, for a very good discussion. As the fourth panelist, my focus during forum will be highlighting on the critical issue, which is plastic pollution. For your information, plastic pollution is one of the most severe threats to the marine life. The majority of plastic pollution in the ocean is caused by littering. We buy or use disposable plastic items such as food wrapping, plastic bags and bottle, and do not dispose of them properly, which cause them to end up in the waterways and eventually in the ocean. First point is the effect of plastic toward marine life. Marine life such as sea turtle, whales, seabirds often mistake plastic debris for foods. When ingested, plastic can cause blockage in the digestive system, leading them to starvation, internal injuries, or more crucial is death. Plastic waste also entangles marine life such as seal and dolphin, leading to suffocation or injury. Second point is plastic can change marine life food chain. Even small plastic called microplastic can be ingested by marine creatures and enter the food chain, affecting everything from the plankton to large fish and ultimately humans who consume the seafood. According to the Surfers Against Sewage website, 12 million tons of plastic is dumped into the ocean every year. This evidence shows the plastic or microplastic can be endangering marine life if no action taken. It supports my agreement on the plastic pollution. We should give awareness to all levels of society. That's all from me. I will pass to next panelist. Thank you.
Hi, and a very good afternoon to Madam, and thank you for our handsome moderator, which is Fong Wei Hui, and others panelists that have give their best research to explain about human activity that can affect oceans. So I'm, as a last panelist, would like to talk about overfishing. So before I explain more detail about overfishing, what is overfishing? Overfishing happens when people catch fish faster than fish can reproduce. At 2024, Simon and Clovis says in their article named Understanding Overfishing, a literature review, which is they say that when the parental stock is severely depleted, the average requirement and productivity of the stock may weaken. This reduction in average requirement through overexploitation of the parental stock is then referred to as reproductive overfishing. So, as people, we need to understand what is overfishing, and we need to overcome this to maintain our ocean health. So, how overfishing happen? Overfishing happen because of our technology have reached their peaks. Modern fishing tools like big nets and sonar allow people to catch a lot of fish quickly, often more than nature can handle. At 2020, Rashid Sumaila and Travis Tai stated in their journal that name and overfishing and increase the resilience of the ocean to climate change, which is they state that in Europe waters, recent report estimate that between 40 to 70% of fish stocks are currently at an unstable level, which is mean that in some places there are no rules to limit how much fish people can take, and illegal fishing make things worse. As the global demand for seafood grows, more and more fish are being caught, pushing fish population to the brink. So, why overfishing is a problem? At 2023, Environmental Defense Fund say in their website names overfishing most serious threats to our oceans, which is they say that overfishing endanger ocean ecosystem and the billion of people who rely on seafood as a key source of protein. Without sustainability management, our fishers face collapse, and we have to face a food crisis, which is mean that overfishing cause big problem in the oceans. When too many fish are caught, their number drop and it's become harder to them to recover. The balance of marine ecosystem. As some species become too many or too few, overfishing also harm other animals like turtle and dolphins that get caught by accident in fishing gear. For example, overfishing make it harder to find fish, which means fishing costs go up. This is especially hard for community that happen on fishing to make a living. So as a community, what we need to do or what the government need to do to overcome this overfishing to protect our oceans. So at 2070, Gonejo Donoso and Anderson says in their article, which is named Effect of Fish Movement Assumption on the Design of a Marine Protected Area to Protect and Overfish Stocks, which is they state that the design of large and fully protect stocks and increase fisheries yield even under limited movement dynamics understandings. Reinforce the potential for successfully using MPA as a management tools for pelagic stocks. So what this means, government and organization are taking steps to fix the problems. They set rules how much fish can be caught and create special area called Marine Protected Area (PA), where fishing is restricts to let fish recover, to stop illegal fishing, taking to watch fishing boat and enforce the rules. Sustainability fishing is also being encouraged. For example, seafood with Marine Stewardship Council, which is MSC label, come from responsibility source. Fish farming called aquaculture is another solution that help reduce the need to catch the whitefish. So as a human, what we need to do, even though there are challenges, we can help fight overfishing. Choosing sustainability seafood, reducing waste, and spreading awareness can make a difference. Government, organization, and individual need to work together to protect fish population and keep the ocean healthy for the future. But I think now we can restore balance to the oceans, protect marine life, and ensure there is enough fish for everyone in the year to come. So that's all from me.
That's all for our oral report. Thank you, Madam.